Emma. It is so nice to meet you in person, and I want to thank you guys for having me over your house. And I got to tell you, after walking through the house, Emma, your decor is unbelievable. I don't know if you did it yourself or did you have an interior designer?
I think Tom helped a lot.
Oh, wow, I would not have thought that. But it looks amazing. Now, Tom, that outdoor fire pit and patio has such a nice lifestyle to this property. I would definitely want my videographer to have that as part of the whole virtual tour.
Yeah, it's probably a good idea. We spent about $50,000 on that, so we're expecting to recoup at least that and then some on the price.
Oh, okay. I completely get that. No problem. And, and I really value your time today. So tell me, what is it that you're hoping to accomplish from our meeting today?
What do you think?
We really want to know what our home will sell for, and we want to know what you're going to list it at. We want to make sure it's competitive with our neighbors who sold down the street. We'd like to get what they got in March.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and just, the highest price possible. In the shortest amount of time, really we don't want to disrupt the family, so.
No inconveniences.
Not at all.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
And when I was talking to you on the phone, Tom, with Emma, I had a conversation with him, so it's my understanding that you guys are looking to try to get a little bit more house and a little bit more land. And Tom made it clear he wanted no disruption of the home, that you want to go from one home to another with your family, right?
Yeah, we got a dog and kids, and it's going to be a hassle, so we want this to be as smooth as possible.
No problem.
And part of that, one of the things we're going to be looking for is communication from you, like daily updates by the phone. She's more of a texter, so you probably need to talk to her separately, but we really want to know what's going on. I'm kind of busy at work.
I completely understand. You're going to love our style then. That's not a problem.
So we can hear from you like every day, maybe tomorrow.
Well, I'm going to tell you all about our communication. So you actually, Emma, I bet, and I've heard this many times over, I've had people say that I can't believe how busy you are, and I felt like your only client.
I was just going to say that. I assume we'll be your only clients.
Oh, you're not. We sell about 450 homes a year, so I have a lot of power to bring to this house, because I know Tom has made it very clear you guys want top dollar. So we'll go over that. It's no problem. But Tom, you also said that you're interviewing 5 agents. I think I'm the third one. You got 2 more to go.
Yeah, so our nephew just got his license. And
oh, isn't that nice?
He's coming in 2 days. And then we also have the neighborhood expert. She lives 3 houses down from us.
Oh, no,
her daughter used to babysit our kids, so she's coming in as well. And then we got a discount broker also. So we're really going to make sure we're making the best decision.
You are covering all avenues. Well, what I would say is that if this is, what you guys are trying to figure out, what separates agents apart, and so the most exposure that you get for your home is the best price you're going to get for your home. So it's my job as an agent to expose your home to as many people as possible. Does that make sense? So do you have 20 minutes that I can go through how our team is different?
Sure.
Okay, awesome. I can't wait. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, Tom and Emma, I got a gift for you in this box. I have 30 years of experience combined with the most advanced modern marketing that is offered out in the real estate industry. And I can't wait to share it with you.
Okay, do we get to keep it at the end?
Absolutely not. I do have a book that has a summary of it, and I'll leave that as we coordinate all the events. It's no problem at all.
Okay.
But I want to tell you a little bit about my team. And
we're dealing with you, right? We're not going to be talking to any team members.
Well, so I'm going to be your main point of contact. But Tom, how I run my team, and it's a little bit of an advantage, is that I have experts that handle all areas. I don't want to be the jack of all. I want someone handling your marketing correctly. I want someone that's handling those leads correctly. So I can't wait to share how our team works, like a very well real estate world machine. You're going to love it. You're going to love it. But the one thing I want to let you know is that my team is different. And the reason we're different is because we will do with 15 agents in a 12-month period, 450 transactions. Now that's about 30 transactions per agent. Do you know that the average in the industry is 4? Like that's 400 homes a year, that's kind of, crazy. So what that means to you though, is that all of the agents are so knowledgeable, full-time, committed, and experts in this market. So should we onboard you as a client to our group today, you would get to take advantage of all of this knowledge and expertise and have it behind you in your house.
Nice.
So, I would imagine, Tom, I know that you guys are looking for the inexperienced, maybe if it's a new agent or a cheap commission. I mean, when you look at the whole picture, the bottom line is what you want is on that next sheet. You want the highest dollar in your pocket.
And the lowest costs.
Okay. And are you okay, Tom? Or?
Yeah, I'm good.
Oh, I haven't seen you smile since I've been here. I'm just wondering if you're okay.
It's a big business decision for us.
It is. But one thing I want to let you know, Tom, if we could take the edge off a little bit, is that I am one of the most seasoned agent in your market. You don't have to choose me today, but I am here to help. Like I'm only offering you a lot of good information, whether you take it or not. So, but I work because that's how I do with my team. So if we can be on the same team right now, it would make this awesome. So
I'm on your team.
Awesome,
He's
Emma.
on my team.
So I would imagine that you guys want to make sure that you have a seasoned agent to be experienced because, Tom, I know you're not the nephew, but come on. If you want to get from one house to another and you don't want any problems, you're going to want to make sure this goes down smooth, and that's a lot to coordinate, Tom.
Aren't houses kind of selling themselves right now? I mean, the market's been so hot. I mean, we're seeing buyers literally line up and down the street. The open house, it looked like they were waiting to get like concert tickets.
Yeah, back in March it was like that. So yeah, market kind of changed a little bit, but even during the times when the market was hot, sure, you could probably just stick a for sale sign out the door and get a contract the next day. But if you don't have the right exposure and we're not reaching all the buyers out there, how do you know your best buyers at the beach? Like, I want to make sure we're doing our Google AdWords and we're reaching them all. But to talk about the experience, so they got, I don't know how you guys are doing the slides, but anyway, so I'm laying the next three so they can just flip through. I'll do them one at a time so I don't complicate them. But anyway, within RE/MAX, there's 100,000 agents in the United States. We are so fortunate that our team is in the number 15th position in the country. And we also, because we know right where your house is, we're 20 minutes from Maryland, 20 minutes from West Virginia. So we're number one in all those markets. So, so we're nationally known and locally. Also, I'm with this America's Best from Real Trends. We were named the number one large top producing team in Virginia. So we're very excited about that. And it's backed by this really awesome coach. I think he's involved, Ferry.
I've seen him on YouTube.
Yeah. So you got the next slide. That was the one we were just talking about, the America's Best. So, and then we also have that we were with the local board. We were acknowledged as the number one top producing team of the whole county. So we were excited about all these stats. And this is just to let you know that I do have some experience behind me and I know what I'm doing, okay?
Okay.
So I'm gonna let you know we have 15 members on our team. Again, they're all super seasoned, they're amazing agents. The nice thing is now, I'm gonna tell you, I know, you have the discount agent, you have your, nephew just got a license. I don't know, it took me about 30 years to put this together, so I don't know how quick he can put a marketing plan together for you. But the other thing is on that discount agent, a lot of discount agents, aren't really full-time and committed to this. So, people now are instant. They push a button and we got to show up at the house. So these agents are on it. When your house needs to be shown, plus they know how to sell it, like they know the area.
Are they going to preview the home and be able to answer all the questions before we go to the market? How does that work?
We share everything with your listing with the whole team, and they're going to be very aware and knowledgeable about who shows up. Actually, we'll probably, for your area, have our top 4 buyer agents will be the ones who will be showing the home, since your home sits right in Leesburg.
So you won't be here at every showing?
No. Because I have the buyer agent show the home and the agents. Now, again, Emma, I'm number one in the local board, so I know all the agents in the community. If I was to show up to every showing, I can promise you that agent or that buyer would not be very happy. As a matter of fact, when you guys go show your new home, you're not going to want them hovering over you. So I would not let that. I would say, no, we want our space. If you have a second showing and we want more information, we're happy to meet. It's no problem. So, okay? But I know that...
Can they come beforehand and turn the lights on for us?
You know what? I think we can work something out with it, but I probably would recommend, because the kind of marketing that I do, that we would recommend that the first day we're going to go active is on Saturday.
Okay.
So I'm going to probably have you turn all the lights on, and if we have to pay an extra $20 for the weekend, it's okay. We'll just leave one on weekend. Okay? Because my goal is to get it on and get it sold.
Okay.
Okay?
Makes sense. I'd like to meet with them beforehand so I can show them all the.
You know, so I'm going to tell you a little bit about how our team works. You're a very high connection. I just love that, Emma.
Thank you.
You're going to be so
I'm going to work really involved in the sale of
I can tell. So, Fliss is our listing manager. She's going to handle all the details. She knows how to make sure, because there's so many details. And I know, Tom, that you've already made it clear you have a lot of upgrades in this house. So we want to make sure everything's properly presented, that it goes out there correctly. And then Crystal is the one. We have a lot of advanced marketing. And I will tell you, my knowledge on that's a little bit limited compared to hers, because it goes very deep. But she heads up the team that runs all of our Google AdWords, our geofencing. It's a lot of high-tech stuff I'll share with you. But as she gets the leads, they come into our sales manager, Debbie. And I think you guys are one slide ahead of me, but that's okay. And then after that, it goes to Shayna, who is our transaction coordinator. Now again, through the whole process, you're going to have folio timelines, and you're going to see everything that is involved in your transaction live time. So you're constantly in the loop, and we keep you updated. So don't worry about communications. And by the way, we have got over 450 5-star reviews online, and the main reason is because we were very happy with our communication process.
Can we talk to some of those past clients, and maybe the ones that didn't give you a good review, and see what happens?
Well, you know, if you could find one online that's a bad review, I think maybe I have one on there, so I don't know, but you know, I'm sure there's plenty of people around. If you want to look at my reviews and their names are on there, you're happy to reach out to whoever you want.
Awesome.
But I wouldn't get 450 reviews, Tom, if there was a lot of problems. You know.
It's a good point.
Isn't that kind of, yeah. So just to let you know, and so as the leads come in, they go to our ISA, Sean and Donna, and you can see how excited Donna gets when she finds a hit for your house. Like, they work so hard with our advertising. All the leads that come in, they go through the database and match them with your house, and just make sure that, again, like, should we decide to list today, and we say, okay, we're going to start it next weekend, we can spend the next 7 or 8 days going through all these leads that we're going to bring in for your house and use in our database, and we're going to try to rally around the best matches for your house.
Sounds like there's going to be a lot of people interested.
That's what I'm hoping for. So, I also want to let you know, the next slide, that I am also an industry leader. You won't believe it. I speak for the #1 coach in the world, and I actually speak sometimes about how to list houses.
That's amazing.
It's insane. So I'm very experienced at this, and it's something that I'm really happy that I can take this knowledge and share it with you here today in your home.
Are you on YouTube also?
I am. Absolutely.
I'm going to look for that too.
Now I know this other slide seems completely ridiculous, okay? But this is what I'm worried about. No, there's one before that. But anyway, so this one is, you can see a picture of me that is showing I'm a high expert negotiator. So when you know, Tom, that old saying, you get what you pay for. If you want a carrier pigeon to deliver the information, well, I don't know how your bottom line's going to look. If someone tells me, if you say, hey, I want $925 for my house, and the buyer comes in at $850, and you say no, you tell them $925. Well, that carrier pigeon's gonna say 925. I'm gonna say, hey, look, he's got an updated patio, he's got upgrades, like this is what we want. Because I am an expert, knowledgeable, professional negotiator. So you get what you pay for there, Tom. So then you'll see we go through all the social media wheels. We make sure we don't leave any of that out. You'll have a YouTube channel, Facebook, Instagram. I want to make sure on the next one you can see that, that you can see where all the buyers come from. And they're online. So that's where we focus. That's where we put our dollars. As a matter of fact, because our marketing is so advanced, most of the buyers call us that have agents. But again, we want the biggest reach possible. Does that make sense?
It does.
Yeah. So you got to be careful with these discount agents because sometimes you get a package that looks like that. Like if you want to make sure that your home is going to get the highest dollar, we got to have the best packaging available. Make sense? And I know this is ridiculous, but with your, part-time agents and people that don't work, they put stop lock box on and go to the pool in the summer. We're working, doing open houses, calling, networking.
We haven't told the kids yet that we're moving, so we don't want to sign, we don't want a lockbox. We want to really mark this like quietly a little bit. I mean, we have some friends in the neighborhood. We don't want them to think we're jerks because we're moving out. So
now I gotta ask you a question. Do you think you're more of a jerk when the moving truck shows up and you never?
We don't want them to know.
Okay. Well, you didn't even give them a chance to pick the neighbor. Like they're gonna be more pissed off. This is the thing. I don't know how much you hang out with your neighbors, but Tom, we got.
You hang out with a lot, right?
I do.
Then it would be my advice that you say, hey, we're going to be moving. If you know anyone that could use this beautiful house, make sure you call Carolyn because
Could you do that? Could you tell
I will call all of them for you.
That would be great.
Yes, I would be happy to.
Okay.
But we want your neighbors to know.
Okay.
We definitely want your neighbors to know. Again, we don't want to hide the exposure. I need as much exposure as possible. So, and the lockbox is secure. I can time access it. You'll be completely safe. In 30 years, I've never had anything stolen.
What about the agents that don't have the keypad to access that lockbox?
It all depends on the situation, but in our area, Tom, I don't run across that. If somebody can't enter in a secured manner, we don't let them in because every professional should have a key.
And we have cameras inside the house and outside the house, and we were thinking we would record when people come through, and then we could play it back later and listen to them.
That would just be so creepy. So, if you want to, you have the right, but we would have to disclose that they're being videoed. The outside always, but you got to think about it. If somebody comes in and they're on video, and what if they tell their realtor, oh my gosh, I don't like the size of the family room. They're going to have to whisper in her ear because it's going to, so they're not going to freely look at your home. I would advise you to turn the interior devices off. It's not like you have something like someone's going to walk out with. So you'll be fine. You'll be fine. I'll help you work through all that. But we're going to start with our pre-marketing campaign. So should we decide to do this today, I get to work right away with networking into all the agents. We have over 10,000 buyers in our database. We do a lot of Google AdWords, geo-fencing, map fencing. I'm going to explain that to you. We also do Zillow Flex. So I want to let you know they went across the country and picked the teams that answered their phone the most, had the best reviews, because I know that's important, Tom. You can look at them online. And also, they want to make sure that you converted. We happen to be the highest converting team right now. We're one of the top in the country, but for our whole area. And it's because we answer the phone. So, a lot of agents are unaware of the activity, but I want to let you know when you get into this, the zip code searches, people can spend $10,000, $20,000 a month. I'm spending well over $100,000 a month right now. So I'm very invested in marketing, and I know, Tom, you want, that low commission, and you're thinking that commission is going to come right off the bottom line of your house. And in many cases, it is. But if they're not invested in all this, I consider my commission an investment in your house so we can get a higher price. Does that make sense?
It does.
Yeah, that makes sense. So the Zillow thing, so if they're, how do you get connected with these people? Is all the buyers, are you looking at their financials before they come in? Tell me more about that.
So basically, when the buyers call, and it's kind of like the same with Amazon, when you want something, you go online, you click it.
Okay.
Right. People click through. We do ask questions. and make sure that they have some type of pre-approval. But we set the appointments for them right away, and then we follow up with their lender letters.
Okay.
So we do get them in your house. We make sure that they're good buyers. But you know, right now, Tom, they're giving us 450 buyers a month. So that's a lot of exposure I have for your house. So it's a very big account that I took on. And again, you can look us up online. We have a lot of reviews on Google and Zillow. We also, because we're so high tech, but high touch, Emma. So you don't have to worry about that. We have our own app. So it will be very nice for you guys when you're looking for houses because you won't have everybody trying to sell your information and call you and bother you. You're gonna, it's not gonna be a problem to search for homes. Plus you can schedule it. You can say, we would like to see it at this time. You can favorite, and it's interactive. So it's a great app, and I'm happy to get you to download it. We can get that set up for you as well. So a lot of people don't know about geofencing, and again, that costs thousands of dollars to do, but we do have your zip code geofenced. So people get pinged when they drive through with the properties. We're trying to find people, again, that match their home. We also have a lot that we do with Google AdWords. We spend like $4,000 or $5,000 a month on that. So again, we're very invested in the marketing. And this, we want to make sure we have keywords that drive traffic to your property. So.
Will our actual house be, like, will they see photos of inside of our house?
Oh, yes.
Oh.
Well, I don't think we can sell it if people can't see inside that house. This beautiful house, are you kidding?
Okay, it's just kind of weird. People will see, like, my kids' bedrooms. Maybe we leave those out.
Is there something in there you don't want them to see?
No, we're very private.
Yeah, you are. I would take down your personal information, but people think if we leave a photo out that there's something wrong with that room. Maybe your kid, like, has stuff piled 5 feet high. So I would recommend that we use it.
We're going to have to tell the kids so they clean in their rooms. Sorry. Okay.
Can't you just clean their rooms?
You mean Carolyn?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
have services.
Oh, okay.
Not you, no.
You are gonna love it. You're gonna love it. But the very first weekend that we have this, what we can do so we make it easy for try to get everybody in there monitored, we do a mega open house. And we're gonna make sure that we'll pick something like a smoothie bar, a coffee bar, and we're gonna invite everybody over. They're gonna have movies, they're gonna be monitored, but we wanna create the hype. If I could get, as many people I can get in there, we get multiple offers, Tom. Now, Tom, are you excited or?
I'm worried about people like spilling coffee. We have very light colored carpets. Like, I mean, this isn't the food
I'll
all over the
take
place.
full responsibility.
Okay.
No problems with it.
And then how do we know those buyers are pre-approved and ready to?
Well, a lot of them that we're actually going through and searching with our geofencing and our Google AdWords. So a lot of them call us about the property, and we know they're coming in advance. But will we get some people coming in unqualified? Absolutely, that's part of the whole game. But we're not going to make sure that no one walks through your house unattended. That I can tell you.
Okay.
Okay.
They're being watched all the time in the house. You've got people all over the house watching.
We only let them in one couple at a time.
Oh, I love that.
Okay.
So we have our own website, which you can feel free to use too. That again, you won't have people selling your information. Of course, we do all the geofencing and the Google AdWords for Facebook and Instagram. And that's just targeting specific audience. And again, you got to be careful because everybody's house goes on Zillow, everybody's house goes on Facebook and Instagram. But it really depends upon how it's being targeted in those portals as to what you're going to end up with for your activity. Does that make sense?
Will we be able to see this to know how many people are viewing our home online?
I can share it with you, yes.
Great.
Awesome.
We do reports for you every week and share the activity that we're getting.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I'm hoping that it's going to be through contracts, so you have a couple contracts for you.
And we've also heard there's a lot of people coming from outside the area, so you're going to advertise in like local papers and other places.
Oh, you wait for that. So, I happen to be with RE/MAX. It is one of the largest it's the next slide, guys. It's one of the largest in the country and international. So, RE/MAX alone gets 110 million visitors a year. So, we want to make sure that we network it to all buyers out there, and that's why I'm under the RE/MAX umbrella. So yes, everybody is going to know about your house. You guys can advance one slide if you want now too. I'm going to the next one. Again, we get 450 buyers a month in, so I've got over 10,000 buyers in my database right now. Actually, right now I think it's like 14.
How many are registered right now?
I could have a buyer in the database, but you know the whole thing is I don't want one buyer. I want to make sure we have them all. It only takes one. If you want the highest price, we need to have all of them. So again, your property will have a YouTube channel. Emma, I will text you a link to the YouTube so you can share it with all your friends.
I'll post a link on my Facebook too.
But that,
I'll post a link
oh, you
on
can?
my Facebook, so
I would love that. Tag me in that.
Tag you.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
And if you have any questions, I can help out with it.
Okay.
And you guys have like a whole lifestyle with this community that you're in. So I figured, you know, we could share about all of the community features. I offer personal staging, virtual staging, and we also do personal staging. But for your home, everything looks perfect. The only thing I would say is maybe the one empty bedroom upstairs, we could do a virtual staging on that so it just gives people more of a feel of how that home could look and how it would turn out. Does that make sense? And we don't really, for your home, you're not going to need the personal staging because your home already looks like a decorator did it. But I do have a beautiful piece I could give you for your dining room table that would help it out.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think you would love it.
I'd like to see it in advance though, so don't.
Absolutely. I'll send you a picture before I bring it over.
You can text me a photo.
I'll send you a picture, I promise.
Okay.
So, you know, and as far as trying to get, you know, the work done, I know, Tom, that you had, as we walked through the house, that you had kind of said, hey, I need to get the deck stained. It looks like that could happen. And then you had also mentioned, Emma, that you'd like to have a deep clean done on the house in advance.
Yeah, and the carpet.
So I have great contractors that I work with. And basically, if you need help at all doing the good thing is contractors are about 2 weeks out right now. My guys help me do this all the time. I can have them over in the next 3 days and this house can be ready for photos next week.
That's great.
Okay.
Okay? I also have very good maids. They work with amazing speed, services, and fees are very reasonable. You might even want to keep her for a permanent basis. She's awesome. So I'll be happy to share it with you. And I know, Tom, you said you wanted the property mulched on the front, and I agree with the deck. I could probably get him over this weekend. Like, he's pretty fast for me. So
Great.
that way we're just not, we don't want to waste a lot of time.
No, we're ready to go. We're excited.
Yes, that's awesome. I love it. And when you're moving, I have a couple of really good local vendors that I can refer you to. They give our clients discounts. So I'd be happy again as we go through the process. We try to make everything as easy as possible because I know with kids and dogs and all that, you want to make sure everything goes very smoothly. So we have great systems for that. So I want to make sure that you know the advantages of a team versus a single agent. We'll sell 450 homes a year. You have the strength of the team. We're very high attention to detail. And I can tell you there's some people that think, well, gosh, the other agent only has, 10 sales a year, we're going to get so much attention. The reality is you're going to get a lot less attention and a lot less experience. Because do you know, when you're talking to someone that's trying to negotiate the contract on the sale of your home, the purchaser of your new home, with someone that sells 450 homes a year, how much more experience do you think I'm going to have putting that together versus someone that only sold like 5? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Yep.
So yeah, so we're very, very hands-on, and I think that would be an important aspect for you, Emma. So I know that we're going to have to talk a little bit about pricing a property, but I just want to go over one thing that's really, really important here. So if you go and you try to price your property slightly above market value, I'm going to lose a good portion of your audience. So your house is way too nice not for everybody to see it. So if every, honestly, in $25,000 increments, every $25,000, you actually will be fishing in a bigger pond of fish. So I have more to pick from. If we price too high, you're not going to have the right traffic. And I know, Emma, you're very proud of your house, and Tom, and all these upgrades. The last thing we want to do is price this house, and then you got to tell your friends you had to reduce it. Like, that would be horrible. So I want to make sure that doesn't happen to you.
We just want to get what our neighbor got in March.
In March?
Yes.
Yeah. Well,
we got an appraisal done too, about 8 months ago. So we want to make sure that, this is a lot of money here, so we want to make sure that we're really, protecting our equity.
so do you know, Tom, an appraisal's opinion is just an opinion like an agent says. Do you know what the price of your house is?
That's what you're here for.
It's what the buyers in the market are willing to pay right now. If I set the price of your house, I wouldn't even need to be doing this anymore. I don't do that. It's the buyers. It's my job to reach them, and then the buyers will pay what the market will pay. Does that make sense? So I know you guys.
That's where your number comes in.
I know that you guys are talking about this whole March market, but as a matter of fact, I do have some stats here for you that the market, and you might like this too, because I know you guys are very commission focused, that the list price to sales price ratio 4 months ago was 103.6. This month, it came out for the past 60 days, it's 100%. My average list price to sales price is 102.6. So I earn my commission right out of the gate.
Well, maybe 2.6%, but nothing. What are we talking about?
But we're also, again, you keep on looking at commission as coming off the bottom line. And if you hire that discount agent, I tell you what, if I just got a cheap commission and I could put all the money in my pocket and not spend all this, I'd be happy too to do it. But the reason I do this is because I'm trying to invest it in you guys to get the most money for your house.
Okay.
So it all goes, as a matter of fact, to give you a client that I had that was with this discount agent that I took over about a month ago, was on the market at 800, and in 3 weeks he got 2 offers, and of course the market was even a little bit hotter then. Got 2 offers under 8. I put it on at 8. I did all my marketing, and I sold it for $840. So again, let's look at the bottom line. Let's not get commission focused, okay? And I know that it's really important for you on communication. And it's a great client we just settled a couple weeks ago that actually is the wife of a local attorney that just raved about our level of communication.
I think I know her.
So I know you're very well connected in the community. I think I've seen you guys at the country club before.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. So, so I would have to ask, do you have any questions about the marketing that I do?
I think it's really nice, but our friends have told us that the houses basically sell themselves now. That they just throw a sign up in the yard and people line up.
Yeah.
So I don't know that we need all of them.
Oh, you definitely need it. Yeah. Houses, that I've been doing this for 30 years, houses do not sell themselves. So again, Emma, the reason that I'm going after your geofencing, your Google AdWords, and I'm putting everything out there is because I want all the buyers to come. Sure, could I put a sign in the yard and stick it in and do nothing and get you a contract? We could maybe the next day, but don't we want all buyers? Isn't that that we want the most exposure? So no, you don't. We have to do all this if you want to make sure you're getting the most money.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Does that sound reasonable? So we agree. I'm glad, and I know you already interviewed 2 agents. How does this compare to who you've already talked to?
Well, our biggest concern, we'll be honest, Carolyn, is that you're not a neighborhood expert, and our neighbor 3 doors down, she is the neighborhood. She lives in the neighborhood, and so that's kind of what
So
our biggest concern.
I have to ask you a question. When people are going online looking for a house, do you think they're searching local neighborhood expert, or are they looking for the Leesburg zip code to buy a house?
Word of mouth does still work. You talked about the country club. We do a ton of networking there. That's how we found our
And I want you to. And I can tell you what, she's going to be the first one I call because she could bring us the buyer. I don't want to leave her out. We definitely, because I know she knows there. I know your neighborhood too. I've sold quite a few in here. So, but nobody's looking for the local expert anymore. They're looking for a house, and my job is to answer the phone and get them in. Does that make sense?
It does actually. So that makes sense. So they're not really looking for the agent. They're just looking for the
Nobody
house.
goes online and says, I need an agent to help me find a home in Leesburg. No.
Okay. So they're looking for the best house, not
Yes.
the best agent.
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense.
Well, I bet our nephew could just do all this stuff himself now that we've seen this presentation, right?
I mean, he's like 22. He's very tech
Well, the
savvy.
only thing is, you guys told me you wanted to move. Could you wait about 5 years?
He's pretty quick.
It's taken me years to season this, Tom, and even as good as I am, I couldn't duplicate this in another state in the media.
Do you think your sister's going to talk to us if we don't list with her?
Oh, no. Well, I can take you off the hook on this. I can take you off the hook on it. This is the problem. And I'll be honest, I can already tell Tom, that you like what you want and you know what you want. You're going to hire her nephew, and he has nothing put in place. And then you're going to be calling him and getting pissed off, and then it's going to be problems. So your best thing to say is that, you know what? If you want him to call me, I'd be happy to give him some jump starters for how to get his career going. And maybe he can, find the buyer for your house. But I would just tell him, you know what? Thank you so much for offering to do this, but it's such a big move and we don't want any disruption with our kids and our family. Can we just decided to hire a local expert.
Would you call my sister and?
I would love to.
That would be great. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't mind at all.
I don't like confrontation.
I would be happy to call.
I don't like your sister.
I'm not surprised. You seem so easy to get along with, Tom. But, okay, so I know that your neighbors, Tom, talking about pricing. So, okay, so you guys live in the banana plantation, and you're on 123 Banana Street. So, there are a home that sold just like yours for $925 in March, okay? And then you can see one, it's the next model up that is a little bit larger and it just went under at $900. Now the one in March was on the market for 3 days. The one that just went under contract was on for 14. So there's a shift in the market. The good news is the ships rise with the tide. You're buying local and selling local. And I'm one of the best negotiators. I'll make sure you guys make it up on the other end. But my suggestion is, based on the comps that we just looked at, that with your home being around 300 square feet to stay in line with the market, we should really put your home on at 900. I wouldn't recommend starting at 925.
So you're going to be helping us on the buy side too, right, to make up that difference?
Oh, so.
Because we were really planning for 950.
Okay, so.
But if we get the right numbers and you're telling me you can make this up on the buy side, it goes with the tide, you're going to be the one negotiating.
So how would you actually expect me to make up if the market drops? How am I going to make up any difference for you?
On the negotiation on the next home.
The negotiation, absolutely. I'm going to negotiate for you. I'm going to make sure that you don't pay as much as the home that sold in March. Because I see that your neighbors have that. So it's no problem. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. It does.
And plus, the house that started at $925, they listed their house at $850. It got bidded up. So we can't go to the highest. Like, if you wanted to follow their line of thinking, we'd have to start you at $850. But if we start you at,
We can't do that.
but because you have to tag in all those upgrades, if we start you at $900, I think that's perfect.
And we did put 50,000 into the yard. So
I actually have a spreadsheet of all the upgrades we've made and how much we spent, and then I did a depreciation model and see where the numbers come in. Do you think you can get that to the buyers, help us get a better price?
So what you can do is we like to do a list of all the upgrades. I do know that other houses just sold. I don't know if you saw, but they had a screened-in porch. They had an outdoor patio with a fireplace. They also have. So I'm comparing you to homes also with a lot of upgrades. So you're going to get your money for your house, but it might just, now it might not be where it was in March, but again, you're not going to pay as much for that home that you're buying in March. Does that make sense?
it does. Should we buy first and then do contingent and then come back and sell?
What I recommend is that you get your house on the market so so that you have the buying power to buy. Because if I got to go to this house and you want me to negotiate, I'm going to say, hey, we want this deal, but they got to sell their house. Like, that doesn't put you in a very strong position.
Gotcha.
What about a lease back? Like, if we can't find them, like, can we move in with you or something? Like,
I don't know that we would, that would work. Emma can maybe.
I think it would be fun. You should do that.
But no, but I can help you. But again, I know y'all don't want a temporary, and I can get a lease back for you. It's not a problem.
Okay.
I will make sure. I have never left anyone homeless, and I'll make sure that you get from one home to another smooth, no problems. How's that sound?
Okay.
Is that
That's
good?
reassuring. As long as you can't be homeless.
All right, so you guys love the marketing. We're talking about 900. Let me ask you. Are you guys planning on leaving all of the fire pit and all the stuff around it? Because it looks like it all goes together.
Yeah, I mean, we don't even know if the next one's gonna
It's
have a fire.
and probably the same with your drapes, right?
Oh, I really like my drinks.
Can you make those yourself?
Yes, I sewed them. I was gonna take those with me, and also the chandelier. And I was also gonna. I really like the the insert and the tile. I was gonna take that with me.
You want to take it out? So you know what, Emma? By the time you do all that, you're probably going to cause more damage and expense that you could buy it. There's so much new stuff out there, and I see that you're on the modern trend. You're going to probably end up doing different decor anyway. But your curtains, like your windows here are custom windows. If you want to take them, you're going to have to put some new curtains up. My recommendation is to let them stay with the house because it models it well, and we want to get the top dollar, right? So we'll make sure that those things convey, and then 900,000. So I tell you guys sign here, and we can get this show rolling right now.
What do you
I'm
think?
in.
You're in? Okay, let's do it. Woo!